I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll begin with is there a motion for the approval of the agenda?
Move to approve the agenda?
Second.
It's been a motion by Riddle, seconded by Sampson to approve the agenda for August 15th, 2017. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion passes. Next, we'll move on to Spotlight on Recognition. Peggy.
You know, I don't know if you remember this, but we have not typically had a spotlight on recognition for Employee of the Month for July and August. But this year we had so many fabulous people that were nominated that we said, you know, that's our own rule. And so it is my pleasure to introduce Dan Johnson, who is the Employee of the Month. And I will say that you have to kind of put Employee of the Month in quotes because he's actually an employee of 916. However, we contract with him for half-time, and so he's here with us half-time. Dan demonstrates the IB learner profile attributes: an inquirer, knowledgeable, and thinker. He's willing and able to solve any problems that come to us. He is our programmer. And so he is a behind-the-scenes kind of guy. I want to say, if you're in a meeting with Dan and you say, Dan, can we do this, and then can we do this, and can we do this? That smile actually would never really be on it. He would just sit and look at you and nod, and then at the end of the conversation, he would say, yep, we can do that. And then we can say, well, Dan, when do you think it can be done? I can probably do it by tomorrow. And then we move on. Dan was particularly helpful this past year as we implemented the new middle school report card, but has also been vital in the previous one at the elementary, and will be also a part of the high school one as well. But he's also, as we've moved into a new data warehouse, he has been incredibly helpful of moving data over. So at night, that magic stuff that happens with campus and making sure that new kids are brought up to speed and have PIN numbers and bus schedules and all of those kinds of things. Dan has his fingers in that, in the back of it. So congratulations, well deserving for Dan Johnson, August Employee of the Month.
Very good. Thank you. And the next would be the 2017 Hall of Fame inductees.
Yeah, in your packet are a list of this year's, it's year 2 of the Athletic Hall of Fame. The event was a week ago on Monday. There was a golf tournament and dinner, and then inducted into the Hall of Fame was Jim Anderson, class of 63, Don Carlson, class of 65, Mike Mace, Greg Gruff, thank you, and Anna Schuler and Emily Monlow, all 81, 89, and 2001. They were all there. It was great to see them and hear stories of not only were they fabulous athletes, but have also become incredible assets to the community and the professions that they've gone into. Also honored was Joe Frank, who was a longtime wrestling coach here, Jim Perry, who was longtime football, thank you.
Well as, I think he did also some wrestling.
Yeah, I think he did too. And of course, our own Renee Van Gorp, who was honored as from her coaching experience. And then Bill Beery, longtime Fridley State Bank president, came to in the mid 60s, and he was president of the bank until it went under new ownership. Bill is a longtime supporter and contributor to many things throughout his time here, and continues to be. And I know, he will be turning 102 on September 11th. So, congratulations to all of the Hall of Fame inductees.
Great, thank you. Next we have superintendent and staff reports.
And tonight we have Sue Davis with our newest AFS student.
Well, it's always fun to come and visit you kids, even if you kids.
I love it, thank you.
How about
Come again.
come with my kids to visit you once a year? Time goes very fast. And this time, AFS has taken you to the other side of the world. And our student is Connor, and he's from Australia.
You want to come up?
And don't ask him how long he studied English. Okay. And be sure and ask questions. Kids are always comfortable when they can answer questions. Okay.
All right. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Thank you for having me. My name's Connor McHale. I am here with AFS. I'm 16. I turned 16 about a month ago. I live in Adelaide, South Australia, which is probably, if you put Australia on an equivalent map of America, would probably lie somewhere in Texas region, so south in the middle. And a city I live in is called Adelaide, and it's got about 1.2 million people.
Wow.
So, but the fifth biggest city in Australia. It's about 800 kilometres east of Melbourne, and it's right on the beach. So I live 5 minutes away from the beach, which is pretty nice. And one thing that I'm definitely preparing myself for is I've never seen snow before in my life. And I've also probably never been below 35, 40 degrees in my life either. So that'll be a change.
You're in the right place.
Yeah. So my family back home, I've got my dad, his name's Paul, he's 48. He sells tiles, I guess you could say. My mum works for a tour company, so travel is, something that I've always aspired to do, and my parents met traveling 20-something years ago, so it's always been something that's interested me, hence why I'm here. I've got a 13-year-old sister who, if I'm perfectly honest, I don't know very well because she spends all her time in her room with the door closed. So, I can't say a lot
That might
about
be
her.
okay.
Probably, I think she might
At
be spending a
14.
bit more time out of the room now that I'm not there anymore. So school in Australia, I go to a school called Blackwood High School. It's a public school. It's about 10-15 minute drive from my house. I have to catch 2 buses every morning to get there, which is a bit boring, but it's just what you have to do. My classes, I do science, humanities, which is a mix of history and geography, mathematics, so like algebra and all that, and I do a lot of physical education because I love sport. I've always been doing sport at school. That's something that I sort of pride myself in. I love doing sport, so that's probably my strength in school. The size of my school, I think it's probably about the same sort of size as Fridley High School. It's got about 800 to in between 800 and 900 students. And school day starts at 8:40 and goes until 3:10. And we have a 20-minute recess break at 10:30.
Wow.
And we have a 40-minute lunch break at 12:50. So we get an hour break during the day.
Nice.
My interests, I play Australian football, so Aussie rules. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but That's
a mark.
it's huge over in Australia, especially where I live. Yes, that's it.
I got it now.
It's a good sport. I love it. A lot of people. I've showed a couple of people some vision, and they have no idea what's going on. But that's what I do. I used to do a bit of track and baseball. I've played cricket, basketball, soccer. I've played a lot of sports, but Aussie rules is my main sport. But since I've been here, I've joined the Fridley football team, and that's something different for sure. I don't really know the rules all that much, so today was only my second practice. But I think I might be a punter or something like that because that's what we do in Australia. We don't throw it, we kick it, so it comes pretty naturally to me to be able to kick a ball. So that's what the coaches said at least. So yeah, I'm very excited to start Fridley. I've already met a fair few of the people there due to Chad and a couple of his friends, and obviously at football I met heaps of people at football. And we went to a Fridley car wash, raising money for a senior all-night party, I think it was, or something like that. And I've met a couple of people from the swim team as well. So I'm pretty, never thought I would say this, but I'm looking forward to school. Maybe not the education part as much, but maybe
You are on
maybe the social aspect. Of
You
it a
are
bit
on
more.
TV now.
But yes, going to school in America will definitely be an experience. A lot of people back home have seen movies and stuff about American high school, but I'm actually going to see what it's really like.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not all High School Musical sort of stuff.
No.
So yeah, that'll be an experience. Get to go home and tell everyone what it's really like. So this is a great opportunity. So I'm pretty excited to start at Fridley. Pretty much just thank you very much for allowing me into the community, and obviously to Jeff and Julie for letting me into their house. It's very nice of them, and I appreciate it very much. So thanks, everyone.
Well, welcome, Connor.
Great.
Wonderful to have you here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great.
Nice job.
Very good. I love your sense of humor.
Yeah.
Well done. I have to ask, does anyone have any questions?
I have a question. When you are in the process of, I suppose, applying to be an AFS student, do you indicate where you want to go in the United States? Or
When I decided I wanted to become an exchange student, I only really looked at one country, the United States, because to me it's a very, very fascinating country. It's I know we both speak English, but it's quite different. Just the way of life really interested me. I came to America last year with my family, and I absolutely loved it. Like loved it. And I always said to myself, or I was saying to myself all the end of last year, I was like, I wonder what it's like to live in the United States. So one day it just popped into my head, I could do an exchange there.
yeah, very
And
good.
I looked on the website, and AFS had a guarantee of country, or guaranteed country of choice, because there was a couple of other companies, but they didn't guarantee. So I didn't want to end up in like Germany or anything like that, because I don't know how to
No.
speak German or anything like that. So it was A, there was no language barrier, and B, it's a very fascinating country. And like I said, I've seen a lot of movies based in American high school, so it'd be
my
good to
goodness.
see what it's really like in real life.
Oh, my.
Great.
What did you really love about America that you wanted to come back?
Yeah, one thing I have definitely noticed is you guys eat a lot more than we do, and the portion sizes when you go out for dinner.
Larger.
Yeah.
When I was here with my family
overeat.
last year, we only had to order 2 meals between the 4 of us. So.
Wow. We're overeaters here.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
tell.
It's good. It's good food.
Overachievers.
Also, it's beautiful. Like, I'll be honest, I was driving through. When I was here last year, we went to like hit a lot of the big cities. I mean, I like the big cities, but it was more the small town America that I really loved. Like, it was like small town Ohio and Pennsylvania and stuff like Michigan. We were driving through, and it was really, really pretty. And I felt that the suburbs, even where I'm staying with Jeff and Julie, I feel like the suburbs and the streets here have a lot more personality and character than what they do in Australia. And even when I went for a walk with Julie just around the neighborhood the other day, and she knows all of her neighbors, and to me that's a little bit weird. So
He is a little bit weird, being one of those neighbors.
She's not your scale.
But like as I was saying to her, I don't know any of my neighbours or anyone who lives. The only people I know in my suburb are the people that I know from things like outside of like. I don't know them as my neighbours. I know them from somewhere else, and it's more just chance that they live near me. So it's not like we have neighbourhood parties or anything like that. We're just walking down the street, and Julie's going hi, hi, hi to every person.
Were you here for National
Nida.
Night to Unite or? No?
I got
Okay.
here on. I left Adelaide on. Well, my dad actually sent me a message today saying it was exactly a week ago you left Adelaide.
Okay.
So it took me a fair while to get here. It was a 2-hour flight from Adelaide to Sydney. That was the easy part. And then it was Sydney to Los Angeles. That was 15 hours or something. And that's not a lot of fun. That's very boring. And then we had to go Los Angeles to Chicago. That's 4 hours. So that was not as bad. And then we had, I had like there was a hotel that AFS had booked out in Chicago, and there was about 150 exchange students there from all over the world. So I had to stay there for about 6 hours, but it went quickly because I was meeting people from all different places. So it was quite fascinating meeting people my own age from Spain, Costa Rica, Colombia, France, Italy. That's just something I've always really wanted to do is, meet people from other countries. Hence why I came overseas. But I felt like America was the last place I was in at that time because I didn't hear any English. It was all Italian and French and Spanish. So I finally got to Jeff and Julie's house, and there was some English being spoken. So that was nice.
Very good.
All right.
Welcome.
And then in Chicago, then it was also a 6-hour bus ride from Chicago to Stillwater, and it was overnight as well. So it left at 11 p.m. and I was so jet lagged at the time. I hadn't slept in like 2 days. So then I finally made it to Stillwater, and then we spent the day there again with all the people from other countries. So I was the only Australian person there. So we spent the day there with AFS, and then about 8 p.m. Jeff and Julie picked me up, and ever since then I've been with them. So it's been great so far. I've enjoyed my time a lot more than I thought I would, to be honest. There was actually, when I was walking down the runway in Adelaide waving to my parents for the last time, I was thinking in my head, is it too late to pull out now? But no, I'm glad I went through with it because it's only been a week so far, but I feel pretty comfortable here already, so it's good.
Well, that's wonderful. It's nice to have you here.
Thank you.
And you're a very good ambassador for your organization.
Yeah,
Thank you
very
very
good.
much.
And
Very
You
good.
are.
So have we had a student from Australia before?
I was just thinking, I think about 5-6 years ago, you had a student from New Zealand.
New Zealand, okay, yeah,
He
I don't
also
recall
spoke
one.
English.
Yeah,
Very good. And it made me think of the student, the kids, I always encourage people to ask questions. And this was a very innocent question, I think, but someone asked him, well, do you have tall buildings in New Zealand? And he said, well, of course we do. It's what the kangaroos practice to jump over. And I hope it was a joke on both sides.
Well, it's a delight meeting you, and we
Thank
look
you.
forward to hearing more about your adventures.
Thanks
there,
very
so
much.
Yeah,
thank
go
you.
Tigers.
Yes, go
Go
Tigers, go
Tigers.
Tigers.
Hope you have a good warm winter coat.
Yeah, I've actually never seen snow before, so that'll be interesting. All right, well, thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yay. Nice young man.
Redo it. Take two.
And I should not forget to say thank you either, because AFS only exists because of the school support that we have. In fact, the student can't even be accepted on the program until the superintendent or the principal of the high school signs the placement form, and that allows them to get a visa, a student visa for the school AFS experience. So thank you to all you guys.
You are very
And to
welcome.
the
Thank you.
parents that host.
Yes.
And to
That
the-
is an
yes.
incredible,
And they, if you remember.
This is your twice. then.
yes, yep.
2 years ago, they hosted Simon from
Yeah.
Norway. And one of the teachers back there remembered Simon.
Yes,
So
exactly.
thank you, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, Sue. All right. Next, we'll move on to the technology integration update. Kathy Kramer.
Really? I have to follow Connor?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Tough
All
act.
right. Back to follow.
Okay, thank you for having me. I'm just going to give you some quick updates about what's been happening in instructional technology, and Lori's going to, I need to cut my time down by about 14 minutes, so she's going to click. The first one is a mobile learning plan, and this addresses board priority 2, and we created the FIT team, which is a group of teachers that are interested in technology. They're ambassadors for instructional technology. We applied for a cohort to be part of it, and we were awarded the cohort to do learning for a cohort for 10 weeks. And it was run by the International Society of Technology and Education and Johns Hopkins University. So it was a great opportunity for us to get to know ISTE better and to learn about the ISTE standards. We had access to teams from all over the world, and we were able to look at our lessons, and we created a mobile learning plan, which was the best part of the whole program. We had 5 goals with the program. We created the team and the group of teachers that were in the schools, helping other teachers, coaching other teachers. Go ahead. And we have ongoing professional training. We had several trainings throughout the year, and we are going to continue to train that group. We're going to get Google certified and use Common Sense Media. And we've created we've merged the digital learner with the ISTE standards with the IB learner profile. I'm trying to go fast, I'm sorry. One thing that we came up with was we standardize our classroom. Every classroom has a smart board or an LCD touchscreen. Every classroom has audio enhancement, Chromebooks, a Seesaw page for elementary, a Google Classroom for high school. This is how we envision portable tables, a standing desk for teachers, and then mobile access for everybody. The team also helps write policies. They look at our AUP. They help us with social media. They're our eyes and ears in the field. We also are looking at digital citizenship, where media specialists have a lot to do with digital citizenship. So we've revamped the K-12 scope and sequence and really dug deeply into teaching teachers how to teach digital citizenship from K through 12.
Can you define digital citizenship for our
Yes,
listeners?
that's a good, thank you. It's being able to discern fake news from real news. It's being able to spot an authentic website, a biased point of view, being able to just know what's worthy and not worthy. Very good question. Anyway, that's the end of our FIT team update, and I have 2 other updates. We also have a group of teachers that are interested in STEM, and so they would like to make things, activities and experiences more STEM focused.
And STEM is?
What is STEM? I'd like to hear what the board thinks STEM is.
I would say STEM is, it encompasses science, technology, engineering, and math.
Very good. Nice job.
Thank you.
And this incorporates board priority 2 and board priority 3 and, oh my gosh, board priority 5.
Wow.
So what we're looking at different types of programs. looking at STEMifying our math courses, building maker spaces, expanding our coding clubs, just really getting the energy going with STEMifying and really doing competitions and getting kids and teachers enthused about STEM. Okay. The last update is PBS NewsHour. We are fortunate to be part of the PBS Student Reporting Lab, and that is part of Board Priority 1 and 2 and 3, and I think 5. Whoa, just about nailed them all. Student Reporting Labs, we are one of 25 schools that is part of the program. And it has several goals. It teaches kids how to do storytelling, how to be good citizens, again, how to discern between what is real and what is not real. We also have access to all PBS reporters, all local PBS reporters as a mentoring program. So it's an awesome opportunity for students to get to know people in the field. And it really prepares them for any media-related job or any job in journalism. What we're going to do at FMS is we're going to have a live broadcast. Some of the things that we broadcast will be submitted to PBS for possible airing. And then we will also be part of a cohort with 25 of the teachers. And I'll give you an example of the group. That's the group of teachers that were part of the training. And we did get to meet with Judy Woodruff, and I said it earlier, but I'm very excited to be part of the selfie with Judy Woodruff. And that's it for the updates. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great stuff.
Sounds like a
Yeah,
good
thanks.
program.
Yeah, Kathy and the FIT team have really
Yes,
worked
yes,
really
definitely.
hard
And
over the
Yvonne
year.
is part of the
Yes,
the tech
Yvonne
team,
Anderson,
the
our
FIT team.
tech
Yep.
manager, is
Yep.
really a part of it. And again, that's somewhat unusual to have that kind of technical tech person be so integrated with our classroom teachers. And so she
Yep.
does a fabulous job of doing that.
Yes.
The PBS piece is really exciting, and we really don't know where that's going to take us, but we have a couple of different options there. Obviously, the middle school is the place we'll begin, and,
Yep.
and where that might take us is kind of exciting. So
How do
thanks,
students get
Kat.
involved in that PBS NewsHour if they're interested?
Oh, that's a very good question. A colleague who worked at the middle school applied for a grant, and there were only 25 people chosen throughout the country. Some of the people that I met at the training said they applied 6 or 7 times. So my colleague Joe Halverson wrote a really great proposal.
So if I'm a student at the middle school, how do I get involved?
You are part of the broadcast class.
Okay.
So you are, yep.
Okay, great.
Last year, we had, I don't remember the name of it, but a Google Summit.
Yes.
Are we
Yes.
planning to do something like that this year again?
That's a good question. The Google Summit was successful and it ran its course at our district. So we're going to come up with something else, but it won't be the Google Summit.
Okay.
You'll just have to stay tuned.
I will.
We will do that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have-
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank
Kathy.
you.
I just have a quick question about the
Yeah.
digital citizenship.
Yes.
One of the things I hear from employers all the time is kids don't know how to critically think, and with all the cyber abuse that goes on, is there any thought given to expanding that education around digital citizenship and how to evaluate that outside of just this small class? Is that
We're trying to incorporate it throughout all teachers. So the media specialist is the hub of that, but we are trying to spread it to all teachers. And we're going to be hosting some digital citizenship related nights because parents don't always know either. So it's a group effort that we're really focusing on, and the FIT team will be certified with Common Sense Media, where they'll be able to incorporate that into their day-to-day teaching.
So,
And
good
that's
case.
really part of the scope and sequence that
Yes.
Kathy worked on this last year.
Yeah.
And again, that even though it's maybe the media specialist may own that curriculum, it really is delivered through a lot of other people, because the time that students have with the media specialist is pretty limited, and the research that other teachers are requiring and folks being involved in makes it the sense that other teachers need to understand that as well, and they do.
Yeah, it touches every single class, I mean,
Great.
the minute, all day, after school, everything, so. Okay, thank you very
All right,
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have business action items. First item would be the resolution accepting gifts. Each month, we're fortunate enough to receive gifts, monetary gifts sometimes, or gifts of property. This month is no exception. We have, the following people have donated to Fridley Middle School for a total of $50.05, and that's the Wells Fargo Community Support Campaign. And the method that we have to accept these gifts is to pass a resolution. So is there a motion to accept the gifts and thank the donors?
I move to accept the gifts and thank the donors.
Second.
There's been a motion by Delvo, seconded by Thornton, to accept the gifts and thank the donors for their contributions. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Aye.
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 And the resolution passes. Thank you. Next, we have second reading and adoption of policies. Amina.
So today we're taking a look at the second reading of Policy 513, Student Promotion, Retention, and Program Design. There have been no changes from the first reading, and so I would submit it for your approval.
Okay.
So moved.
Matt.
Move that we approve
What was the second one also for Matt?
Yeah, Matt.
There's also Policy 799, which is nutritional services meal charges, and there are no changes from the first reading.
Okay, thank you. So I'd ask for a motion.
I move to accept the second reading of both policies.
Second.
It's been a motion by Delvo, seconded by Sampson, to accept the second reading and adoption of policies 513 and 799. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And the motion passes. Next item would be the consent agenda. The consent agenda includes items, minutes of the regular school board meeting and work session held on July 18th, 2017, monthly financial reports, new contracts, amendments, leaves of absence, terminations, resignations and retirements, memo of understanding for the ALC Basic Day 2017-18, approval of the lease, purchase agreements for computers and hardware. Is there a motion, please?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Seconded.
Then a motion by Riddle, seconded by Sampson, to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion?
Well, I'd just like to point out one retiree. Dorothy Seeloff is retiring from us on the 25th of this year. She's been with us since 1999, so we certainly thank her for all her years of service to Fridley Public Schools.
Right. Thank you, Dorothy, and I'm sure the middle school will miss you. So, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion passes. Okay, next we have the written information, first reading of policies. Matt.
Yeah, so tonight we have a first reading of Policy 798, Fund Balance Policy. Over the last month, we've been working with our auditors, Bergen KDV, and this recommendation has come from them to make sure that we're in alignment with our practices at the district.
Thank you. On reports from school board members, the Northeast Metro 916 board meeting was held on August 2nd, 2017, and that meeting consisted of a tour of the new school that's in Lake Elmo. It's called Pancalo, and that's a special education center for the K through 8 students. Mary Kay, did you have anything you wanted to add? Or Peggy? Are we good?
I attended a Minnesota School Board Association summer conference, and they had a session on equity, which was very interesting. Learned some new things that I've brought back to the board, and it verified some of the things that Fridley District is already doing very well in that regard. So it was affirming, and I also learned some new things for us to put into play here in Fridley.
Okay, thank you. Now, the important future school board dates. Many activities coming up here. The first item would be the badge ID pictures for school board members. You can have those taken August 21st, 7:45 a.m. at the Fridley Community Center. The Community Resource Fair and Backpack Giveaway will be held August 26th, 11 a.m. at Fridley High School. The opening workshop for all teachers and staff is August 28th, 7:30 a.m. Fridley High School cafeteria, and then we'll move on to the auditorium. First day of school, September 5th, and that's for Hayes and Stevenson, grades 1 to 4, and kindergarten orientation, grades 5 and 9, and new students at the middle school, high school, and the Alternative Learning Center. First day of school for all students is September 6th, and that's for all of the schools in the district. Next meeting for the Northeast Metro 916 Board is September 6th, 6 p.m. at Bel Air School. AMSD Board's meeting will be held September 8th, 7 a.m. at the Ties Conference Center. The next Fridley Public Schools Board meeting will be held September 19th. Work session, 5:30 p.m., City Hall Conference Room A. The open forum is at 7 p.m., again, in the City Hall Conference Room A, and that is followed by the business meeting, 7:30 p.m. in the City Council chamber. That concludes the items for this evening. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Second.
It's been a motion by Delvo, seconded by Thornton, to adjourn at 8:10 p.m. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the meeting is adjourned.